What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another live stream. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I think everything's working, everything's live. Looks like everything's doing what it's supposed to do for now. My welding table is an absolute mess, but it's like, as per usual, I'm just surprised that the stream is on, that we're starting. I don't know why it gets me every single time. Didn't get much of a chance to prepare anything today. So I have 3 air boxes, 3 Evo 6 air boxes that are all in pieces still. So we're gonna tack those together and weld these guys up. And then I have some Evo 7 catch cans that are partially tacked. So if we fly through this stuff, we can either finish the stream a little early or get in there and do some Evo 7 catch cans. So I have folded and prepped these guys, so all we have to do is tack them and weld them. We might just go through one by one and tack them, weld them, and see how that goes. A couple of minor changes to the back end side of the stream. Last week I had some, I guess, pretty big issues with the computer that I use, and I think just the overall setup of the stream, the back end setup. So today I'm trying some different things. I've moved almost everything around. Basically just trying to deal with the EMF side of things. It's way more difficult, and it seems to be just a never-ending thing that needs to be contended with while streaming welding. The other thing, the welder setup side of things, is I've gone to full-length tungstens. So instead of cutting my tungstens in half, I'm running them full length. Since I'm not doing so much inside or fiddly work, I'm just seeing how I can go with a full-length back cap. I should finish talking before I try and stand everything up. So I'm going to just keep running this setup until I run into problems, and then figure it out from there. And also save a ton of tungsten by not cutting them in half, like that 2 inches that you have to throw away, you know, when they're too short. Definitely worth keeping them long if possible. And I think everything else is pretty much the same. Running low on gas, but got gas delivery tomorrow. Blah blah blah. Like, everything is just is what it is. I have set the welding helmet up. I don't know if I've set the welding microphone up. We're going to find that out momentarily. But let's get in here and do some tacks. I totally forgot that I was on a pulse setting still. But it's all good. So all tacked up with a pulse just makes the tacks a little bit larger than they need to be. It's not a problem. Oh, the other thing that I did was I've set up the welder camera that points at the welder, hopefully. But I did expect, and it looks like it has happened, that it might cut in and out. Let me deactivate that and then activate that. Okay, why is that happening? So that should be showing right now. Where else do we see that camera? In here somewhere. Yeah, okay, so it was working with this setup, but the thing that I did was add a extension cord to it. And what I suspect is that Okay, that's back. That's back. Hopefully the stream is live again. It should be live again. And what's working and what's not? That's working. That's working. Let's come into here, and that is working. And we'll just check that welding camera out. Alright, looks like everything is working again. I don't know if I actually fixed anything or what, but we'll try this. I changed a plug around. We'll see how that goes. G'day, Chris. Welcome to the stream. Hope you had an awesome weekend. I know I missed the stream on Friday, but I think I did say I may, but all the same, I hope your weekend was good, man. Bear with me 1 second. Let's do this. Is that still working? Yes. Okay, cool. That is working. I don't know if that drops the... No, that should be good. We'll test that out. And... I don't understand. I definitely don't understand. That's just me testing things. And let me grab this, and can I get the chat to work? Let me... It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I always encounter gremlins on the actual stream that don't exist in testing. And it's got to do with being live, I think. I'm just trying to grab the chat so I can post in there. Actually, I should just be able to do this. To create. We'll just let that do its thing. So on Friday I did a bit of welding and actually played around with the settings. So still on auto pre-flow and post-flow, no pulse. I went back to square wave on this and 85 Hertz, and I cranked the AC balance up to -39. I say up, but down, but it works out to be up depending on what ratio you're working with. So my stream is back. My hands-free kit has disconnected. There it is. And then everything else has remained the same. So we, I think I dropped the foot pedal down last time, and I've raised it back up again. And I think something else I changed as well. I think we did all that on stream actually. So basically I've just gone back to square wave and turned the AC balance up a little bit. So with that being said, let's jump into welding out this airbox. We'll just take a minute to level him up there, which that looks really good. And I'm just going to roll around this guy. We will make sure we have a bit of a chill block on here. And let's get into it. I'm sitting quite a bit further away than I usually do. I moved the table in anticipation of putting a shelf in to put my chill blocks and all that sort of jazz on. So I'm still just sort of figuring that out at the moment. All right, let's go. Alright, how much of the stream is still working? It looks like these two cameras are. I heard a USB cycle as I was welding then, so I'm not sure what dropped in and dropped out, but cruised around there, not too bad. I was definitely thinking about the stream side of things rather than the welding side of things. But not a terrible weld at all. Can I get a... Not bad, not bad. Got really nice welds on this setting the other day. It's definitely a lot nicer as heat gets into the part, which is when I set the settings up with a hot part. So I'm just going to cycle over to another one of these air boxes before we go up the back side of that one. Just let it cool down a little bit. And jump in here and tack this one. Just clean him down a little bit. I know it's probably a bit too hot to clean, but if we put enough on there, it'll stay. So are we not getting any welder noise in the welding screen? That's highly likely. I didn't even see if that camera's still working. That's probably more likely the problem. No, it is still working. Okay, let me just jump into a welding screen and have a suss. Okay, that should be fixed. It's because we had to reinstall it before. Okay, so we'll do the same on this one. We'll prop him up so he's relatively flat. We'll just get a tack on the front of this one and then we'll cruise around the outside. Okay, that looks really nice. Sort of slowed down my travel speed a little bit. It's always a little bit tricky going around this hole here. It's super close. Usually supply this with a cap-headed bolt because it pushes up really tight against the wall of this thing. But it is a good little fastening point. Not really necessary for fitting, but the more mountings, the better. But yeah, that's really nice across there. Happy with that. Might just flip back to the first one and weld out the side and the top and all the bits that need to be done, just to get it off the table here. If I can find a nice way to prop this chill block will balance on the top there. This will be a nice little angle to weld. Yeah, that one came up all right. The one before, this one rather, not quite as good. Those ones that I was complaining about the other night that I wasn't happy with, I came in on the weekend and welded the fittings on those, and was thinking about how good they looked. It's so weird that a bit of separation from a part often makes it look better as well. Just got I've moved a few cables around, and now this one's just a little bit too short. This is the power cable for the looking camera. I'll just tie this one back so it doesn't or not, because I'll, yes I will, no I won't, yes I will. I just don't have enough cable length to move this camera over to look at the part properly. Another one of those things that in testing it's fine and in reality it's not. Yeah, I know. I think because I can see it in real life versus the camera, and I feel like my judgment is different. But yeah, they've gone to powder coat already, but they actually looked really nice. I definitely need to work on how critical I am of myself. Okay, so we're going to cruise along the top here and get this little seam. So this is a 45 degree bend on this part here to a seam. It's quite a nice little weld to do. Hopefully these settings are good for it. Not too bad. I thought it was going to be worse through here. Let's see if I can get up and show you. So where we had that really large tack right here, I thought it was going to look a lot worse than it does. But that turned out really nice. It's quite a nice little weld. The other thing that I'm trying at the moment is I've dropped the gas down to about 5.5 litres a minute instead of 7. And I think with that increased AC balance, it's sort of still creating it's actually creating quite a wide etching zone. So I could probably drop a bit of gas, but obviously it's thin where we're doing the 90-degree corners. This is a bit hard to judge on a 45. And I don't know if I did it before the last stream or if it's new for this stream, but I've hard bolted the earth to the table instead of bolting the clamp. So I've got rid of the clamp completely and bolted the earth. And I've also added this, how can I show you here, this earth lead with a brass plate on it that if I have to, I can sit on the part and get a little bit of extra earth. So that's a separate earth that tees off the table where the hard mount is for the other earth. Just trying to improve those stop starts or those times where it's a bit dicky is the word that I'm looking for, what I'm grasping for. Okay, I just seal off that little top bit there. Just going to pop this guy over here and do the same thing on that. Actually, we should do that third one before I do this one. Otherwise, we're going to have to do that third one all in one go. Drop out of here. Make sure I get you in a welding screen. Okay, that That first tack didn't take there, so we'll deal with that when we have to do that angled side. This guy, and just make sure that these sides are square. Because there's so many variables with the folded sides, the welded side, I actually don't drill this third mount for the lid, and I've got a little bit of a larger tongue there. So these two, which are a fixed point, this is just a folded side, fold up over, and then this third one I drill after the fact. So if there is a little bit of deviation in the part, which is also the reason why I have elongated holes for the mounting points. I get to make that every time. Also, originally when I was making this part, I was getting the holes laser cut, and then when I was doing the carbon fiber lids, these I do in a carbon fiber option as well. I was having issues with that hole being in the wrong spot slightly. So yeah, so there was a couple of reasons for that, but yeah, the ability to drill that hole, so I just drill that out before it goes to powder coat, and that solves that variation issue. Which all the products I make, there is a slight variation just for the nature of sheet metal parts. Which is why all my jigs and stuff are designed to put the brackets on to the jig, not to the part. So the part sits in the jig, and then the brackets bolt to the jig, and then weld to the part again to allow for any differences or variations. All right, let's jump into it. I didn't clean the part down. So on this batch and on some catch cans that I've been working on, I have been trying a new or a different preparation technique. So I've tried a few techniques, and I've got a couple dialed in, especially for doing raw finish parts, which I think this week or early next week, depending on how this week goes, I've got a raw finish order for a part, so we'll get to do one of those soon again, which are always a bit of fun, something a little bit different. But I've tried a different, so I have a belt sander and a linisher, and usually I do one and then the other, but I've tried a sort of doing belt and linish on one side to knock the tabs off and the burrs off from the down facing edge when I router cut these, and then the upside I have just left, and in some cases where it was a bit rough, I've run a deburring tool over, and in other cases I've just left. So I'm doing that as an experiment, and I've also switched my water sprayer out for my CNC router to just running like a methylated spirit blend, instead of before I was using like a I can't think of what it's called. It's a green coolant. I get it from the States. It's water based. It's supposed to be weldable, but it's certainly not. So this batch and a few catch cans I've cut late last week, I'm trying methylated spirits as my coolant, as my cutting lubricant. So we're sort of testing how that goes as well with this batch of parts. yes, everything's still working. Not too bad going around there. This one across here felt really good, and it looks good on camera too. Still got, where are we here? As I approach that hole there, I sort of try and button off to cool it down, and you can see I've distorted that hole just a fraction there, but looks pretty good around there. Just trying to work on my travel speed a little bit. Now let's get back to this guy. Need the long chill block on top, and we're going to cruise along this 45 degree. My prop feels way too close, or I'm sitting in the wrong spot. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I did I think this is new as well. I did with my Lazy Susan bearing. I ended up putting just some 8mm bolts, bolts with some nuts in them, and it actually, if I do it like this, it actually locates perfectly in the center of my positioner to stop it from wandering. It was quite often, which is why it's all sort of scratched up on the backside here. I've just sanded it recently, but because I have it off center, it wanders around a little bit. But now I can actually line it up and get it pretty damn close to center now. Yeah, I'm happy with how this one turned out in particular. I'm really focused on travel speed. I really feel like I'm having a hard time with consistency lately, which is definitely something I want to work on. I'm really blaming settings for that. I feel like I just can't get the right feel, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I feel like I'm not getting my consistency, one where it used to be, and two where I want it to be. But certainly open to suggestions, and we'll continue to keep trying stuff until I get it back again. Not too bad. I realised partway down that one that I didn't swap to the cold airbox, which is the whole point of doing the bottom on this one. But let's get that in the focus window. Really nice weld along there. I didn't have a tack in the middle, so you can see it sort of bows a little bit as it goes down there, but really nice looking weld. Super strong etch at that 39, negative 39 AC balance. Would definitely drop that down if I was anodizing. I might go back at the end and just sort of do have a look at that, but you can really see a really strong etch as it goes down. Not a bad thing for what I'm doing here, but would definitely show up on anodizing. That one, not quite as nice. I had a little bit of a blowout just as I approached the tack that was here, which you can certainly see that in the weld. It looks pretty good overall, but you can certainly see that there's... I basically had a blowout, filled it, went back, and then welded back over it again, so you can see that little undulation there. Still looks really good, but yeah, definitely not perfect. So all I'm going to do on these two guys here is just seal up these little top pointy bits. I just like to get a weld across here. I do flap disc them down before they go to powder, but I do like to just sort of make sure that that's all held together. We'll come back and we'll have a little bit of critique over these parts. Okay, so the thing that I like about airboxes is we get to have a look at the penetration on them, which we don't normally get to see on the catch cans. So yeah, super even, really nice penetration. It's just good to know that these are the same settings, the same thickness, the same material, everything that I use on the catch cans as well. Just good to see the inside, see everything's traveling well. Which we got pretty good. You can definitely see here, which correlates with the where are we here? The blowout and then the refill. You can see that where it happened right there on the inside. But still, you know, really good penetration, really even penetration overall. But yeah, the welds look really good on these parts. A couple of little hiccups, but I guess same, like the whole theme of the stream is to sort of show the real life side of things, and you know, it's not it's definitely not unusual problems to have. I should say not unusual problems for me to have. Yeah, this one was the first one we did. Looks not too bad. So this was, yeah, the undulated one, which I wasn't super happy with, but the penetration looks good also. Nothing to complain about at all. Awesome, yeah, I'll take a look for sure. Experimenting with the Fronius here. Also, I watched a couple of Fronius videos over the weekend from some guy from the Philippines, I think. It's yeah, it looks like a really cool machine. Just trying to find a nicer looking one there. Yeah, really happy with that. I think I'm gonna call it there. I don't think I'm gonna dive in. I'll save those 3 catch cans for tomorrow night. Tomorrow I'm thinking I might play around with like 2% lanthanated versus the 2% serrated tungsten, and see if that makes a difference to this feeling of inconsistency that I have. I say feeling because it doesn't really seem like it's that bad. So yeah, I might play around with a couple of lanthanated tungstens, and maybe do a couple of back-to-back welds with them and see, you know, see what we learn. Let's just grab the mouse. So I did go ahead and make the Facebook group live. I'll reshare. Let me reshare this. I'll just put it in the chat. Can I put it in the chat? No. Because why? Bear with me a sec. I just need to. I can't. It makes me want to log in. It makes me log into the chat with my streaming software, so just bear with me 1 second and let me. I've slammed that link in already, but I'll flick it in again. So basically, I've created a Facebook group for the stream, for the chat, bear with me a sec, to be able to continue the conversation after the chat, after the stream is live, rather. Sorry, I'm very distracted. So after the stream is ended, we can jump in there and continue to chat. I have also authorized that page to. I have some automatic posting software that I use for my business, so I've added that separately. So I will generate some daily content of my own, just to make sure that there is some activity on there every day. So yeah, Chris, I appreciate that. I'll jump in after this stream and just make sure that everything is switched on for you, everything's working. You'll be the first person that's not me to sign up, and we'll figure it out. And I think I've created, which you would have seen, I've created some rule sets, some questions, and I think we'll just just assess those as time goes on and as people join. I've left it as private, and I will try and just sort of promote it within the fabrication sphere initially, sorry, and yeah, we'll grow it from there. But again, any feedbacks, thoughts, suggestions, actions you need me to take, just let me know, and I'll dive in and make that a priority. But that's it. I'm going to wrap the stream up for tonight. Chris, thank you so much for hanging out with me, man. I really appreciate it. As always, it's just phenomenal jumping in and being here all the time. Really, really phenomenal. But yeah, look forward to checking out those photos of yours, your crab cookers. Keen to see how you travel with those as well. Anyone who came in tonight, I did see that viewer count flicker up and down a little bit. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, last week we had a stream, and it was the one where, and I hate that it was the one where I twisted these filler rods together and filled a really big gap. For some reason, that stream got 650 views, which is phenomenal. And I don't know why, but YouTube decided to push that stream out to people. And quite a few people saw it. So what we're doing is working, and that comes from tuning in, hanging out, chatting, commenting on the video, liking the video, and growing that subscriber count is all things that are helping YouTube push this stream out to people, and that's the goal. The goal is to show people the day-to-day of welding and fabrication, running a shop, and to inspire people to make some shit. That's the goal here. So just while I'm thinking about that, I wanted to mention that normally we get sort of 25 to 40 views on a stream, and to see one crack the 600 mark is I was gobsmacked. So thank you all for that as well. That's really amazing. No photos of crab cookers. Look, you'll please send them, share them if you want to on that Facebook group. That'd be awesome too. But share them with me. I am really interested to see the welding of some kegs, basically. But yeah, I'll suss that out. Thank you, man. And then to wrap it up, anyone who is watching this after it was live, if you're on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and if you like what I got going on, I appreciate you sticking around. If you want to be part of our little community here, jump onto that Facebook group. You can see it in the chat for this video, and yeah, we can continue the conversation over there. That's going to do it for me tonight. Tomorrow we'll be back with a longer stream. We'll start getting back into regular streams. I'm happy with how the software hardware worked tonight, so I think we can start putting a little bit of confidence back in and see how it goes. Anyway, that's enough from me. Have a great night, everybody. Take it easy, and I will see you tomorrow.